Hello, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Tales from my Backlog. So as you can tell, obviously by the title and the thumbnail, I'm going to be reviewing Jack Frost, another Christmas movie. Simply because I haven't seen this in full. And I'm also 99% sure that I've seen bits of it over the years, it's a Christmas movie. Obviously, it's going to be shown a lot around Christmas time, so there is the potential that I've seen bits and pieces of it. I just don't have the best of memory for that, and I could have potentially also seen it in school at any point, in primary or secondary school. It probably would have been shown during one of the down times for before, winter break. So what did I think of it? Because a lot, going into it, I thought it was, a well liked Christmas movie until I seen that on Letterbox, which is what I trust more than Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. It has a average of 2 stars out of 5. So that took me for a loop, and then I seen that a lot of people really do not like this movie. So what were my thoughts on it? Well, it's not as bad as some people can make it out to be. It came out a year after the Jack Frost horror film, which that's a thing that I was unaware of. That there are 3 different films called Jack Frost. One from the 70s, one from 1997, and then this one being from the year that I was born. Michael Keaton as in this role. I liked. He wasn't bad. And I did see on IMDb, and so take that with a grain of salt. That the part for Jack Frost was offered to a lot of people before it landed for Michael Keaton. And I've only seen him in a handful of roles. Some like the Batman with Catwoman and the Penguin. I think I've seen that one. Obviously, I've seen him in Spider-Man: No Way Home. So those would be the ones off the top of my head that I would be more familiar with Michael Keaton. Um, as the story goes, of this dad that focused more on on his music career, and therefore didn't have enough time to spend with his son. His son started to resent him a bit, and then he was like, at last moment, he's like, what, fuck this. I want to give up my dream and shit. I'm gonna go back and spend some time with my kid, and that's when they get dead. I think I've seen that trope done so many times before. Not the dead part, but just the part of not being there for your kid and then making promises that you can't keep. That type of stuff. I have seen that in many different forms of media. One thing that I did struggle with this movie, and it took a while for me to try to not notice it. That being that a lot of the dialogue sounds like it wasn't the original dialogue. It sounded like it was ADR. And the fact that, I was watching the credits, because I couldn't remember if there was, some sort of like extra part to the end where, it's going to flash forward to another year later and then the dad comes back as the snowman again. I couldn't remember if that, if my memory was correct on that or if I was just making it up. And I did see that there were credits for ADR, and so I was like, oh yeah, that definitely tracks. Like the beginning scene with the big school snow battle that we see Charlie take part in. That's when I started to notice that, oh, a lot of these outside shots are definitely ADR. Which, like I said, it took me out of the movie realizing that, because it wasn't done all that great. I definitely picked up on it right away, which that I just couldn't. Like I said, it took me a while to not focus on the fact that a lot of that was ADR. So yeah, obviously then, after Jack's death, we cut to a year later, when he's brought back as the snowman, and it's all right. It's not the best, it's not the worst. You know, there are definitely a lot better Christmas movies out there, and I'm sure there's a lot worse. Excuse me. There are a lot worse Christmas movies out there. But I didn't mind it. You know, I don't think I'll ever come back to it. You know, moving on from this, I definitely don't think I'll come back to it. I don't think I will choose to own it on physical media because I caught it on one of the stations. Uh, Thankfully, because I planned it for now to actually give you an idea of when I'm filming this. I'm filming this the day the Polar Express review came out. So for me, I'm recording this a week ahead, but for you, it's a week in the past type of thing. That's how bad I am have been with this. But thankfully, I just have one other video to work on for this month. Maybe I don't know, but yeah, that's that. I definitely don't think I will return to it. It's not as bad as a lot of people say it is. The CG, there are definitely parts where it just doesn't look great. I mean, it came out, 26 years ago. Of course, it's not going to hold up like some of the stuff that's out today. Obviously, as time progresses, the CG is going to get better. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's fine. I won't return to it. But it's an alright Christmas movie. It's one that you'd put on if you have no other option. If you don't want to watch Home Alone for the umpteenth time, or any of the versions of A Christmas Carol or Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, then yeah, that's understandable. That's the only time that you would want to put this on if you have no other options. But that is going to wrap this up, and I shall see you all on Friday for a different type of review. It's a review of a TV series, but it's also a movie. I doubt it's going to do all that well with my audience, but it's one that I wanted to talk about at that time. So anyway, that is going to wrap it up for me, and I shall catch you all on the very next upload.